Mr. Speaker, how do you bode this, or match up this no new taxes pledge with this increasingly talk about adopting a fair tax in Missouri, getting rid of the income tax and increasing the sales tax, and then also implementing a sales tax on things that never taxed before, services?
The House did pass the fair tax last year. We'll see if it has the muster. There is some questions about that initiative that we'll just have to see if there's still a certain level. I'm not going to start that this year in the House. We'll see if the Senate has an appetite for that. And then I'll judge accordingly with consultations with Governor Kinder and President Shields. We'll see. But I won't be starting that initiative in the House.
Mr. Speaker, on that same topic, that initiative appears to be getting the fair tax, or whatever you want to call it, a fair amount of discussion in the Senate. Senator Shields had a seminar on it the other day. A variety of lawmakers are saying we need to consider it. Yet, the piece of economic development legislation that Representative Fluke's committee had a hearing on last night, and appears to be sort of a top priority in the House, the Senate, and of the governor, would basically be wiped out if that fair tax were to pass, because it collects income taxes. So how does that conflict get resolved?
Well, until something is passed on fair tax, I have to work within the system, which is our tax structure and tax incentives and those things that's in the statute now. I have to work with as a certainty. So we'll address that in due course. Is it senators that want to speak on?
Is it fair to say that the economic development bill that Representative Fluke is carrying, that was discussed in hearing last night, is of a higher priority to you than a fair tax bill?
To me personally, without consultation, anyone behind me or Senator or Governor, to me personally, it is.
Does the pledge for no new taxes extend to the push? There are some people who would like to see you make sure that sales taxes on internet sales are taxed at the same rate if that item were purchased locally. Right now, I can go online and buy something without paying taxes, whereas if I went down the block, I'd have to.
There's a fairness issue and some questions about local retailers. Talk about that all the time. Our legal staff is looking at fairness and the constitutionality of that, but it has been mentioned for the last several years in the House.
Has there been a tax increase proposed or being pushed by people that you're in opposition to?
Not from our side yet.
Would this no new taxes pledge also extend to fees? I know there's some agencies, particular DNR, that are essentially running broke in some of their programs and say they need more than just an extension of their fees. They're going to need an increase in it.
My message to the House of Representatives from them after a meeting today to the bureaucracy is do more with less, and I think that's what we're doing. I suggest they do that.
Isn't there some point though where you can't do more with less?
I suggest you take that to the people out there that don't have any jobs, and you know what? That's just tough. That's tough times. We're going to make a tough decision, and my friend Jason Crowell back here will be helping me on the Senate side. I think he's capable of making tough decisions like myself. It's tough times, we'll make it.
So are there going to be regulations that now exist in the state, that you will tell agencies they cannot enforce because they don't have the money to do so?
I suspect we'll have that conversation.